Hi, I'm Eva from EVA'Z Yoga and Pilates. Nice that you tuned in for this class. It's going to be a hard class for your thigh muscles, your bum muscles, your glutes. So you can make adjustments, of course. You want to use a ball for some of the exercise. Don't worry if you don't have a ball, then you can grab a blanket or a pillow and then you just have something to squeeze in. Most of the exercise will be without the ball, so don't worry if you haven't got a ball. Join, be happy and cheerful, and I see you on the mat. Go forward, go forward. Everybody, make sure that you have your feet hip distance apart. If you want to use the ball or a pillow, you can squeeze it in between your thighs, and then you will activate your thighs and your pelvic floor muscles a little bit more. And then they are very helpful to stabilize your hips. So use your thighs, squeeze the ball, push your feet down into the floor firmly, and you feel already so much stronger. Also, your abdominal muscles are working together with your thighs. So use your thighs, use your abs, and lift your shoulders up towards the ears and then slowly roll them down. Take care of your shoulders, take care of your joints, and feel how you can move your shoulders up and down. 2 more to go. There we go. Inhale, lifting, exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lifting, exhale, lower them down, and turn them in the opposite direction. So move your shoulders forwards and then lower them down and backwards and up and lower them down. 2 more to go, because I prefer to move my shoulders backwards because that is very helpful for your posture, and lower your shoulders down once more. Up and backwards and down, and then lift both of your arms up and push them sideways down, squeezing the ball a little bit more. Inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, push your arms sideways and down. 2 more to go. There we go. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. And the final one. And then lift your arms, interlace the fingers above your head, turn the palms open towards the ceiling, move your hips forward, lean back with your shoulders, and keep using your legs. Because if you bend your knees, you're going to add too much compression in your lower back. You don't want to have that. So use your legs, lift and reach up and over. And can you see your fingers still? Can you still look at your fingertips? Don't move your fingers out of sight. Keep looking up. And lengthen your neck as well. Take another deeper inhale and exhale, slowly lower your arms sideways and down. Inhale up, hands flat together, lower the hands in front of the heart, bend your elbows, bend your knees a little bit. Keep your shoulders above the hips and then turn, exhale to the left, look over the left shoulder. And inhale back to center. And exhale, turn to the right, look over the right shoulder. And inhale back to center. Once more, keep your elbows nice and high. And keep your hands flat together in front of the center of your chest. And inhale back to center. And exhale once more. Turn, turn, turn. And inhale back to center. Both arms, they go up. Lengthen your left arm. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Look to the left. And pull your left arm over sideways. And stay here just to feel the stretch. So push your left foot a little firmer into the floor. Lift your left arm higher and pull it a little bit more over to the right. Can you feel your entire left side of the body from the left foot all the way up towards your left pinky finger? And then you go up on an inhale and then you change. You grab your right wrist, you pull your right arm over and you look to the right. Keep the weight on the right foot and try to feel that you can lengthen on an inhale and you can deepen your foot firmer into the floor when you're exhaling. Take another deeper inhale, exhale slowly, and inhale up. And immediately you can feel the heat rising because there's more space for energy. And then turn and switch again. So grab the left wrist, make sure that you lean on the left foot a little firmer, pull the left arm over to the right, and exhale. Inhale, come back up, pull on your right arm, pull the right arm over to the left, look to the right. It helps also to stretch your neck muscles a little bit. And exhale and feel how you can push your right foot firmer into the floor. And then inhale, lift yourself up. And exhale, slowly lower your arms. You might feel stiffness around your shoulders. So place your hands, your fingers on your shoulders, and then move your elbows together. Lift them as high up as possible. And then move them sideways and down. So you're turning with your elbows. Sometimes your shoulders will appreciate this more than moving with these long arms. So move your elbows around. Little wings. Feel how you can turn your shoulders up and down. 2 more to go. Forwards, up and down. And the final one, forwards, up and down. And now you do it in the opposite direction. So you bring them up sideways, bring them together and lower them down. So inhale up and down. 2 more to go. Forwards and down. And then we reverse it one more time. So we bring them up, 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 and down. Now with longer arms. So you bring your arms forwards, sideways, and down. Inhale up, look up, reach up. Exhale, move them down. 2 more to go. Inhale up, exhale down. Bring your arms behind your back. And the final one, you bring your hands together behind your back and you interlace your fingers. And then you place your knuckles on your sacrum just above your butt. And then you push your hips forward. You squeeze your thighs together against the ball. You keep your knees straight. You want to keep your legs strong. And then you're going to lift your rib cage towards the ceiling. And you try to lean back with your upper back. And you push your hips forward. Lengthening the neck, keeping your jaws relaxed. Can you move your head from side to side? Can you not? No, yes, as well. And then exhale, lean forward. Keep your fingers engaged and interlaced. And then you bend your knees and you bring your chest towards your thighs. And then you lift your arms just a little bit. Feel how stiff it might be around the shoulders. Don't worry about it. Sunday mornings are the best, stiffest parts of your body, probably. Take another deeper inhale and exhale. Lower your hands to the floor and bring your hands along your shins towards your knees. On top of your thighs, you place your hands and then you lift your sternum. You lengthen your upper body. So really trying to lengthen your waist, push your chest forwards. Feel that you're arching your spine. And now round your spine. Pull your shoulders towards your hip bones, chin towards your chest, and inhale, lengthen. But keep your knees active. So squeeze your thighs and keep your knees as they are and round your spine. Just try to move your upper body and reach forward with your chest. Push your chest forward in between the arms and round your spine as much as you can. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. And inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. And then you dive down along your thighs. And then you just drop your arms. You grab your elbows in your hands. And you're trying to push a little firmer with your big toes. So pushing your big toes firmer into the mat will help you to engage much more of your leg muscles. So it's pretty exhausting to stay here in this posture very long. We won't stay here very long. But trying to surrender your chest on your thighs. And then hold your elbows. Push your big toes firmer into the floor and then swing your upper body around your legs and trying to keep your legs as still as possible. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly bring your hands all the way up, hands towards your knees, and just roll all the way up. And then move your shoulders away from the ears and then drop your shoulders. And then remove the ball and separate your feet nice and wide. Nice and wide, yes. And then your toes are pointing to the front corners of your mat. And you can place your hands on your hips and you're going to lean back with your hips so your chest comes forward. But don't collapse in your back. Don't round your spine. Create space for your collarbones, hands on your hips, and then move your knees sideways and down. So you're going to do these squats. Down and up. And by pushing firmer with your heels, with your feet, you will feel the contraction happening more in your thighs. So feel how your feet are working. Down and up. Deep and up. Don't stretch your legs completely. So keep a micro bend in your knees when you go up. It's nicer for your knees. They will love you for it. Down and up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay down. Short pulsation movement. Down and up, down and up. Yes, so tease your legs a little bit deeper, deeper, deeper. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your hands on your thighs. Lengthen your waist. Broaden your chest and turn your left shoulder down by pushing your left hand firmer on the inside of your thigh and try to look over the right shoulder. So that's why you have to lift your chest to be able to look over the right shoulder. create the space. And you can sink with your hips a little deeper, also by pushing your knees more sideways. Exhale, inhale back up, and turn the opposite shoulder down. But you're not lowering your shoulder down, it's just the direction of your shoulder. It points towards the floor, and the opposite shoulder is pointing up towards the ceiling. Trying to look over the shoulder behind you. Exhale to go deeper. Inhale, go up, and turn again. So this is, I think it's the most recommending pose to do for your back. It's very helpful to create space in between your vertebrae, these bones on your back, for the soft tissue in between, for your central nervous system. Exhale, it will improve your posture in a while. And inhale back up, and then turn your opposite shoulder down and look over your left shoulder probably, because if you're pushing with your right hand against your right thigh, your right shoulder is pointing down. Exhale. Inhale, go up, shoulders up towards the ears, then lower your shoulders. Push your hips kind of forward. You can place your feet a little closer if you want to. If you want to find a challenge in your thighs, then keep your knees nice and wide. Push your knees sideways out. Lift your shoulders up towards the ears, turn them down, move your arms sideways and up. And then open your arms and keep your arms floating in the air, pushing your palms of your hands away and draw those small circles with the arms. Trying to keep the rest of your body as still as possible. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Opposite direction. Turn the palms of your hands. Keep your fingers pointing up, drawing those small circles. Tinkling sensations might occur in your hands, which is a good sign because you're still alive. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and push them down behind your legs. Behind your legs, you push your arms down, down and up, down and up. And try to squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back together. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold them down and short, sharp movement. Pulsate those arms up and down very quickly. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift your arms, lower your shoulders, lower the arms, and roll your toes forward and move your shoulders forward. And then drop your arms, bend your knees, roll your upper body down, forward and down, and then lean on your toes again. Pushing your toes down into the floor will help you to stabilize your legs more, which will help you to not fall over. And then swing yourself from side to side. Side to side, from one side to the opposite side. And then turn to the front side of your mat, the short end of your mat, and step your feet next to each other. Then you lean forward and you have to place your hands flat on the floor. If you don't have the ability to place the hands flat on the floor, you might want to stable or something, or place something on top of each other, like books, for instance, and then you place your hands on the books. But you can also bend your knees more. I prefer that you bend your knees more because then your thighs are working harder and you're going to strengthen the front of your thighs, which enables the back of your leg to relax more. So to strengthen this, you will lengthen this. Then you have to drop your head, because when you carry your head like this, there is going to be too much compression. Your head starts pumping and it doesn't feel so good. So that's why you need to drop your head. And whenever you feel like I cannot cope with this anymore, then you just lean on your knees. Then you step back and you lean on your knees and you can breathe a little bit normal. So, but we start first here. You have your hands shoulder width apart, you lean forward, you drop your head, and you're going to lift alternated legs up towards the bum. So your left leg goes up towards the left bum and the right foot goes up towards the right bum. So bring your foot up in the sky. Up and down, trying to tap with your heel your bum, which is probably not going to work, but you can make the intention to do so. First, push your foot, which you place back on the floor, firmer into the mat, and then you can lift the opposite foot. So by pushing your right foot down, it enables you to lift your left foot easier off the floor. So push your right foot down, lift your left foot, push your left foot down, lift your right foot. 4 more to go. 4, drop the head. 3, not so quick. 2, Try to stabilize everything. Suck your belly in. 1. And there you go. Both feet on the floor. Place your hands on your shins. Roll up toward your knees. Hands just above your knees. No pressure on your knees, just above your knees. Bend your knees. Lift your rib cage and take a deep inhale. Exhale, roll down again. Hands on the floor again. Push your right foot really firmly into the floor. Look behind you. Don't look to your hands. Don't look to the screen. But just look in between your thighs up towards the ceiling. And then push your right foot firmer into the floor and lift your left foot. Now flex your left foot and bring your left heel as close to your left butt as possible. Now bring your knees together. The knees are next to each other. So both, you have to push your left knee more forward. And then move your left leg sideways and up. Sideways and up. So stabilize your right leg. Hang in there. Drop your chest on your right thigh. Keep your knees together and then push it up. So both knees are in the same line. Your left knee is not going to be behind you. It's going to be beside you. 4 more to go. There we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then lower it down all the way back. Place your left toes on the floor and tap with your left knee your right calf. So you're teasing your right buttocks. There we go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step your left foot over forward next to your right foot, and then step your right foot over your left foot. So you're going to cross your ankles. Now lengthen your chest away from your thighs, bend your knees, push your left knee into the increase of your right knee. So the right knee is leaning against your left knee. And then you drop your chest over your thighs and you make a forward fold. Feel the stretch in your left hip, around your right hip. How are you doing? Exhale, soften. Soften your body. Try to melt a little bit more. So don't use too much effort. Don't push yourself into the posture. It's like you're melting. You're just dripping down with your chest along your thighs, like honey oozing out of a jar. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit more, and then uncross your feet. And then we're doing the same thing, but with the left foot over the right foot. And you will feel your right butt a little bit more. So bend your knees, fingertips on the floor. You don't need to lean so much on your hands. Use your feet a little bit more. And step your left foot over the right foot. Push your right knee into your left increase of your knee. Squeeze your ankles, knees together. Trying to place both of your feet flat on the floor. Lengthen your chest away from your thighs. And now forward fold over your thighs and pull your belly in, because then you create space. And you will also feel the length happening here. By bending your knees, you will create more space in your lower back. You can drop your forehead and you just want to melt into the pose. Squeezing your inner thighs together, squeezing your shin against your back of your calf. So your calf muscle from the left leg is leaning against the right shin, and you're pushing with your right knee against your left knee, increase of the knee. Can you feel the stretch going a little bit more on the right outer hip? And then you uncross your legs again, but first you have to lift your chest, uncross your legs, walk your feet away from your hands and land softly on your knees. We're going to do, of course, the other leg as well. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, feet flat on the floor, or you can tuck your toes under if you prefer to do so. And then lift your sternum by pushing your heart forward in between the arms. And then exhale, round your spine as much as you can, pushing your back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen. Your back as much as you can, pushing your back up towards the ceiling. And inhale, lengthen. And now push the back of your heart up towards the ceiling, rounding your spine. And now just swing your hips from side to side. Also, you might feel it a little bit more in your right hip, right gluteus. And then you push your hips to the left slowly over the heels to the right, exhaling forwards. As much as you can with your shoulders, you're trying to reach forwards. Sucking your belly in, so on an exhale, you go forwards. The final round. And now you place your elbows underneath your shoulders on the floor. Grab the outside of your elbows first with your fingers. Not only with your fingertips, but wrap your hands around your elbows, because then you have your elbows straight underneath your shoulders. And this will help your shoulders a little bit more. It gives you more strength. It gives you more stability. Now, without moving your elbows, you bring your hands together, you interlace the fingers, and you place your lower arms on the floor, and you push your hands together really firmly. Now bring your nose above your thumbs, then stretch one of your legs, place the toes on the floor and push your toes firmly into the mat, squeezing your buttocks together, and do the same thing with the opposite leg. So you're standing here in plank pose. Don't lift your hips up, because then your head is not above your thumbs anymore. Bring your head above your thumbs, pushing your heels away to the imaginary wall behind you. You probably have a wall behind you, and then push yourself forwards, forwards, forwards. You do them 8 more times. There we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push your heels back. Keep your nose above your thumbs. Push the space between your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Hold, but don't hold your breath. Engage your thighs. Squeeze your thigh muscles around the bones for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now slowly start lowering your knees, your hips. Push your elbows firmer into the mat and lift your rib cage. This is a back bend, so feel how you use your legs. Use your hips, push your hips firmer into the mat. Lift your rib cage, lengthen your belly forward, and then look over the left shoulder behind you. Inhale back to center. Look over the right shoulder behind you. Inhale back to center. And then slide your hips a little bit more back. And then place your hands, both of them, underneath your full head. And then try to find if you can slide your hands a little bit more forward, because you just want to be with your full head on your hands, but not too close, a little bit further forward. So lengthen the neck as well. And then you swing your hips from side to side to feel the width of your hips. And then trying to push the center of your hips, your pubic bone, deeper into the floor, and feel that you're not pushing with your belly. Pull your belly in and up. Imagine that there is a frozen raspberry underneath your navel, and you don't want to flatten it. So keep it nice and juicy. And then lift, alternated your legs. So one leg goes up, and the opposite foot, you push it down. So to be able to lift your right leg, you need to push with your left foot. To lift your left foot, you need to push with your right foot. So push your toes into the mat. You can tuck them under, but you can keep them also nice and long. Don't bend your knee and don't move your hips. Just try to lengthen it. It's like somebody is grabbing your ankle and it pulls your leg up and it lifts it up from the floor, but it's also lengthening. It's pulling on the leg. Up and down. Up and down. 2 more to go. Lifting the left foot, pushing the right foot down, lifting the right foot, pushing the left foot down. 1 more time to go. Keeping your hips nice and still. Keep your pubic bone centered. And then both legs at the same time. Just keep your legs floating above the floor. Try to lift your legs, but don't lift your elbows. Keep your elbows on the floor. Lift your legs, only your legs. Push your hip bones down into the floor. Pull your navel in and up. Lengthen your legs as much as you can. Then bring your heels together and tap the heels together. Very nice and quickly. Quick tapping, like tap, 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 tap. Heel beats, that's the name of the exercise. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower your legs back to the floor and then swing your hips from side to side. Now my left leg is closer to the camera, so I'm bending my left leg, but if your right leg is closer, then you can bend your right leg. And then you grab with your hand the foot, so on the same side. Trying to grab the foot, if you move your knee a little bit more outward, it's easier to grab the foot. You can also use a strap to wrap it around the foot and then grab the strap. Bring your knee back to center. Place your right hand underneath your forehead and try to push your hip bones down into the floor. If it means the foot is going to be away from the thigh, that is perfect. Create space. Push your hip bone down. This is more important. And then try to turn your shoulder away from the floor. So you're not leaning on your chest on that side. No, you're moving your chest away from the floor. But your hips are stable. So they are centered. Feel how you can pull on the foot. Feel how you can push with your foot against your hand. Sometimes it's nicer to push with the foot against the hand. Take another deeper inhale. And exhale, release. Do the same thing on the other side. Sometimes there is a difference between left side and right side. So you bend your other leg, you grab the foot, you turn your shoulder away, and you drop your head. Push your hip bone against the floor. Feel how you can push. And turn your chest away again. Try to turn your chest away. Open the rib cage a little bit more. Feel the connection that you have with your hip bone, your pubic bone against the floor. You can pull on your foot, but you can also push your foot away in the hand. I prefer to push the foot away in my hand because then I feel my quadriceps, the stretch on the front side of my thighs more, and I can feel my chest opening more instead of pulling the foot towards the buttocks, which does nothing for me. So it depends on your flexibility. And then release the foot also here on this side. Then you place your hands next to your rib cage, and then you push yourself up on hands and knees again. And then round your spine again. Keep your spine nice and round. Walk your hands a little bit more to the front of your mat, to the top of your mat. Separate your fingers because you need your hands to be really nice and wide and big and strong. Then tuck your toes under and then push your hips towards your heels. You're lengthening your arm, but that you don't overstretch your arms. So try to bend your elbows just a little bit and move your elbows towards the floor. Your shoulders are moving away from your ears. It's like you want to bring your armpits closer to your thighs. Then you're going to lift your knees off the floor. Still look at your hands. You don't want to come forward with your shoulders. You want to keep your hips behind you. And then you push your hips back, 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 and all the way up. And then you lower your knees slowly back to the floor. That's what we're going to do 2 more times. So don't lean forward with your shoulders. Try aiming for your hips going backwards. So push your hands like pushing a car out of the mud. And you're going to push your knees away from the floor and you're going to push your hips up. Look at your hands and then slowly lower your knees down to the floor. The final one. So push, push, push with your hands, push your hips back and push your hips all the way up. Keep your hands really strong, then drop the head and now bend your knee, alternated left and right leg bending. Trying to bring your chest closer to your thighs by pushing firmly with your hands into the mat, lifting your sit bones in the sky, tapping your heels on the floor, keeping your toes where they are. For 3, 2, and 1. And now you walk with your feet to the top of the mat and you just bend your knees. You grab your elbows with your hands and then you change the way you have your elbows wrapped around your hands or your hands around your elbows. So change. Now it's the opposite arm, which is behind you and the other arm is in front. So it also has a little effect on your shoulders. That's why it feels also a little bit more strange, probably. Feel how you can push your toes deeper into the floor. Can you bring your chest on your thighs? Exhale, drop your head, look between your thighs up towards the ceiling. Try to push your toes firmly down and then swing your upper body around your legs. Now you're not holding a ball any longer, so it might feel a little bit easier, like spaciouser. There is a little bit more space now, so it helps to move with a little bit more, a bigger range of motion now. You have a little bit more space to move in. And then you just stop in center. And then you bring your hands all the way up, but you keep your chest close to your thighs. You can bend your knees more if you want to. And then bring your hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and then stretch your arms. And then push your thighs away with your chest. So you're going to push your chest against your thighs, and then you might surprise yourself that you create already a little bit more space for your neck, for your shoulders. Your shoulders are away from your ears. And then slowly lower your hands. Hands go along your feet, up towards your shins, bend your knees, keep your knees bent, first roll up, placing your hands on your thighs, then pushing your chest forwards, arching your spine, exhale, rounding your spine, and then push yourself up. Lift your shoulders away up towards the ears, then roll your shoulders down, and then separate your feet nice and wide again. So separate your legs. How are you doing on this Sunday morning? Can you still smile? That's a good sign. Hands on your hips, hips go back, knees go wide, and we go down and up. Only 4 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay down. We go up in steps of 2. So it's up, a little higher, and down in steps of 2 as well. So up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Don't stretch your knees. Keep the micro bend in your knees. Down, down, and up we go. Down, down, up we go. 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay down, hands on your thighs. We're going to twist both sides only one more time. So turn first your left shoulder down. Left hand stays on the inner thigh. You're going to push your left shoulder towards the floor, but it's only turning in the direction of the floor, and then you lift your sternum and you look over the right shoulder. So trying to lengthen the left side more. Exhale to go a little deeper. Inhale, create a little bit more space to stretch. Exhale, squeeze, and inhale, come back up. So only the right side needs to go one more time. Right hand stays on the inner thigh. Turn your right shoulder towards the floor and turn your left shoulder up towards the ceiling. Look over your left shoulder. Create space in your neck. Drop the hips if you have the ability to do so. And feel that your thighs need to work a little harder, but also your arms are working a little harder. Stretching the right side of your rib cage, turning your left shoulder all the way behind you. Look over the left shoulder, lengthening the neck. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, back to center. And then move your shoulders back. Bring your toes forwards. Roll your shoulders forwards. Bend your knees. And then slowly, slowly roll down. Dropping your arms, melting forwards and down. Bringing your hands closer to the floor. You might lean a little bit more forward on your toes so you can drop your elbows almost to the floor. And then you swing yourself from side to side. I'm going to turn to the opposite side of the mat, the top of the mat, because then I can show you how to move your right leg and keep your left leg still. So there we go. You turn to your top of your mat. You step your feet together, nice hip distance apart, and you forward fold over your thighs. First, bring your hands on your shins up. Place your hands on your thighs. And especially when you're not used to leaning forward, you might feel like kind of dizzy or like you don't have enough breath. It's not the posture, it's your breathing. If you have, like you hold your breath, you just hold, you don't exhale, then it's harder to inhale. Without the exhale, there is no inhalation. So you need to pay attention to your exhales, and then you will prevent yourself from nauseousness and dizziness. So lift your chest, exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lift your sternum forward. Exhale, round your spine. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, round and dive down. Exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. Hands on the floor. Inhale, lift your chest away from your thighs. Exhale, hands firmer into the floor and drop your head and shake no and look in between your thighs. We start lifting one foot at a time. So bring your right heel towards the right buttocks. Lower your right foot down, place it firmly on the floor and lift your left foot. Try not to lean from side to side with your hips. So that's why you might want to place something underneath your hands if you feel like the bending of the knee is not helping enough to place the hands firmer into the mat. So you can use a little stone or bricks perhaps underneath your hands, up and down. It's pretty intense for your thighs, especially it's going to be a little bit more intense for your left leg than for your right leg probably. Okay, one more time, your right foot up in the sky, you keep it there, and then you bend your left knee. Can you bring your chest, the left side of your chest, closer to your left thigh? Can you drop your head? Can you bring your right knee close to your left knee? So your knees are together and your right foot is flexed. You can see your toes there dropping down, dripping down towards the floor. And you move your right leg to the right. So move your right leg sideways and up. Not too quick. Don't drop your leg. Just move it up and slowly down. Up and down. There we go for 6 and 5, 4, 3, how's your exhaling doing? 2, and 1, hold. And then slowly, slowly bring it down. Your hands are perfectly where they are. And then step your right foot all the way back. And then tap your left calf muscle with your right knee. Tap it back. So forward and back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step your right foot next to your left foot. Then step your left foot over the right foot. So cross your ankles again. Inhale, lift your thighs away, or not your thighs, but lift your rib cage away from your thighs. Bend your knees, and trying to push your feet firmer into the floor. Then you forward fold over the thighs, and you bring your nose against your knees. Try to look along the outside of your right leg or along the outside of your left leg towards the ceiling. It is pretty helpful. You're going to drop your head more. If you feel stable enough, you can also play and grab with your hand the back of your ankle, and then you can pull yourself a little closer towards your thighs. So, but if you need your hands, both of them on the floor, don't play with your arms. If you feel like you have stability enough, you can do it also with both hands and grab the back leg, so the back ankle. If you followed my directions, now it's your right ankle that you can grab because the left foot is in front. Squeezing your thighs together. Take another deeper inhale. Exhale, release, hands on the floor. Inhale, move your chest away from your thighs and uncross your legs. Lift the rib cage. Exhale, forward fold down and cross your right foot over the left foot. Immediately, we're going to cross the opposite leg. So push your left knee inside the increase of your right knee and trying to push your feet firmer into the floor. You can lift your rib cage away from your thighs. Do it while you're inhaling to create more space for your breath. And exhale, you can forward fold and you can feel you're sucking in your belly, and that creates more space as well. So you're going to drop your chest over your thighs. You can look along your right leg or along your left leg. Try to push your feet firmer into the floor. If you feel you're stable enough, you want to play, you can grab your left ankle bone from the behind. So not in front, but from behind. So you can hide your arm also a little bit more behind your calves. So pull yourself closer and closer, but also not only closer to your knees, you want to go below your knees with your full head towards your shins more. And if you feel also stable enough here, you can play. But if you have your hands behind your legs, you don't have your hands as a support. So be careful, feel if you're doing fine. Don't go for injuries, don't go for falling down, but go for challengings. Take another deeper inhale, smile on your lips. When you're inhaling, makes easier to breathe in, and exhale, hands on the floor, uncross your legs. Can you feel your legs burning a little bit? Bend your knees and then walk your knees away from your hands, walk your feet away from the hands and then lower your knees to the floor underneath your hips. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Lift your crown and sacrum and exhale, round your spine and feel how you can round your spine as much as you can. Try to push your hips a little bit more forward and then lifting and pushing your hips up towards the ceiling like your crown of the head is going up. So you're articulating the arch of your spine. And now round your spine for more mobility in your back and less pains in your back. And inhale, lift. And exhale, round your spine. Now push your knees down into the floor, push your hands down into the floor, and then move your hips from side to side, slowly, slowly, so you can feel how you're actually moving. And then you move your hips to the right, and you go with your hips over the heels to the left. Exhale, come forward. How far you go forward, it depends on your shoulders and your hands, the mobility in your hands. Exhale, go forward, because then you have the protection of your belly for your back. The final one. And then you bring your toes together, you bring your knees to the edges of the mat, then slowly lower down your hips as far as they go without hurting your knees, your joints. Lift your rib cage, slide your arms forwards and try to lower your chest to the floor and bend your full head to the floor. So try to imagine that you can melt down and your hips are higher and you can bring your hips even higher. So you can lift your hips away from your heels and then you slide your chest even more forward. So feel what feels nice to do for you. It can be different than last week. It can be different than last year. Don't worry about it. Feel whatever suits you now the best. Our body is every day a little bit different. And also after poses, it feels different. So you can adjust it to this particular moment. It's like haute couture for your own body, for your inner body. But you have to pay attention for the signals that your inner body gives you. So sometimes it's whispering, sometimes it's screaming. And when it's screaming to you, then you're hurting your body too much. Don't let your body scream to you. Let it whisper to you. And then you adjust. You can move your elbows more outward. You can bring your hands together. You can bring support underneath your head if you don't feel like it's nice to have your head on the floor. Feel how you can adjust the pose. By keeping your toes together and your knees separately, your toes and your knees are in the same line. So there's nicer protection for your knees. Take another deeper inhale. Exhale, slowly push a little bit with your elbows into the mat. You have a little bit more firmness. Then you lift your head, you look forward, and you crawl forward on your elbows. Then slide your legs all the way out, placing your hips on the floor. Swing a little bit with your hips. Then place your elbows just below your shoulders. And you can check this. If you can wrap your hands around your elbows, then you're fine. And then you place your hands forward like a swings pose. And then you stop swinging your hips. Push your feet against the floor. Feel how you can push your toes, the tops of your foot against the floor. And then you slide your right hand forward. And then you're going to lift your right hand all the way up. And if you have the ability to bring the right arm back without moving your right hip away from the floor, then tap your right leg. Bring your right leg up and forward and bring your right elbow back on the floor, pushing your right elbow down into the mat. Do the same thing on the left side. So bring it forward. You might want to be just like this. If you have more space, then you can try to tap the left leg with your left hand without moving your hips away from the floor. And lift your left arm up again and then place it down. Pushing both of your elbows into the floor, lifting your rib cage. Then place your hands flat on the floor and lift your rib cage even higher. Push your hips down, shoulders away from the ears. Look over the right shoulder, look over the left shoulder. Look back in center and then slowly bring yourself back to your hands. Then pushing your hips down into the mat, like really firmly. Feel that you're creating more space in your lower back. So instead of the arch here, when you relax, there is more arch. When you push your hips down, you're flattening the curve. Now bring your legs together, squeeze the heels together, flex your feet, turn your toes out, and tap your heels as quick as you can, but not too hard. So you don't have to hurt your heels. Like tap, 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 tap. Lifting your thighs even higher, pushing your hips firmer into the floor. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your legs and then swing again from side to side. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Feel how your lower back is doing. These exercises today, they were meant to build a little bit more strength in your legs, but also create at the same time more space in the back of your legs. And that will result also in more mobility in your back. So feel how your body is reacting to it. You might feel muscles that you never felt before. Don't worry, sometimes your lower back will be a little bit sensitive, but these are the muscles that you trained, not the bones, no compression. You created space, but your muscles might need to get used to this. So feel how you can stop swinging. Take a good deep inhale. And then exhale, place your hands next to your rib cage again, pushing your palms down, lifting your chest away from the floor, pushing your knees down, and then walk your knees towards the hands, and then you can sit on your sit bones. And if you have a pillow nearby, I recommend you to use it, because if you sit a little higher, and you might even want to use the ball, you can sit on the ball as well, just not really on top of the ball, but just leaning a little bit against the ball. You feel a little bit more space here inside your groins. Lower your knees to the floor. Try to sit up straight as possible. Yes, back on the floor or back on the mat. And then create space here in your chest. Broaden your chest, broaden your shoulders, but drop your shoulders. Then lift your arms sideways and up. Lengthen the arms. Hands flat together, lower the hands in front of the heart, push your elbows sideways, and then turn while seated down with your upper body all the way to one particular side. How far can you turn? Can you feel where there is resistance? Where can you feel if there is enough space? Exhale, inhale back to center, lengthen, and exhale, turn to the opposite side. Feel how far you can turn. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower your arms. Inhale, lift your arms. Place your right hand onto the floor beside you. Lengthen your left arm as much as you can. Thumb is pointing back. And then you slide your right arm over the floor just a little bit more to the right. But keep your left bum, your left sit bone on the floor. Stretch the left side of the rib cage and also your left arm. So don't bend your left arm. Don't be a ballerina. Be a little bit stronger. Be a little bit more strengthening your body, and lower your right shoulder. And then inhale back up, and then exhale, lower the left arm as well. Feel the difference between the left side and the right side. Lift both arms again. Keep your right arm this time up in the air. Thumb is pointing back, left hand goes beside you on the floor, and you slide your left hand over the floor sideways, but keep pushing your right bum, sit bone on the floor, and stretching the right side. You turn your head to the right and make sure that you're pushing your right arm a little bit more backwards, lowering the left shoulder away from your ear. So no violin here underneath your left shoulder. There's no space. Create space for more energy so it can flow with much more freedom through your body, and it will help you to feel more energized as well. Exhale, and inhale back up, and exhale, lower the arm. Both arms up again, one more time. Lift your arms, bring your hands towards your heart. Thank yourself for your inner wisdom, inner power, inner beauty. Be grateful for who you are. And I thank you that you joined this class on a Sunday morning. Stay happy, healthy, and joyful, and see you next time.